Okay, this is my first YouTube video on doing something with a car. I normally look up stuff on YouTube to find out how to work on a car, and I couldn't find one for this, so I just kind of went at it and I figured it out, so now I'm going to put it up on YouTube for everybody here. Right now we're just going to be replacing the wiper motor for a 2003 Honda Accord. It should be about the same from 2003 to 2007. And before you go pulling apart your motor, make sure that your VIN doesn't go along with the recall. There was a recall in 2008 for this. It's just the VIN for this car. It didn't fall under the recall, so look that up before you go tearing this apart, because you might get it for free. The motors are about $125, but what I'm doing right now is the windshield wipers normally have this cap on it. I already pulled those off. It's just a rubber cap. Then you undo these bolts. These are 17 millimeter. I'm going to do this real quick. Oh yeah, and before you start this, if your windshield wipers, for whatever reason, stop working, check the fuse first. It's a 50-cent fuse. I already checked that. It's still good. These don't come off, normally don't come off that easy, but I decided to do the video before, or after I started this. So this just may take a little bit of time to take off. A little bit of elbow grease. Nothing too bad. Now this next part, there's a snap down here that comes up, and then you just kind of gotta pull everything up. You'll hear the snaps start to pop, and it's just kind of a pain in the butt to get it. Oh, there we go.
Pick out that middle piece.
Right around here in the corner, there's some rubber gaskets. You can take them off if you want to, but I kind of broke some of the snaps getting it off, but I fixed that and I already put it back, so it should just come easily apart like that. Be careful not to pull on it too much, because you have the hose right here, and that's for your washer fluid. So just set that off to the side. Now if you come around here, you see this bolt, and then over here, this bolt, and this bolt. Those are 10 millimeter bolts. All those come out, and here's your motor. You can clearly see it right now. This is just the disconnect for it. You can test it with a voltmeter, put it on your battery, test it with a voltmeter, turn it on and off after you pull it off, and you can easily see it. The best tool that I found to get to this bolt back here, which I'm going to take off first, that one way back there, without having to take all this off, is just one of these Dilios. It's probably one of my favorite tools in the ratchet set. So you just kind of get it back in there, and it doesn't take too many turns to loosen them up. You just pull it out. Now, where these bolts are connected to, it's a little rubber gasket, rubber buffer I should say, not gasket, a buffer, because there's some vibration with this, so to keep it from clanking around and loosening up the bolts. Now, that was a little too easy to take off. Right here you can just see that's a little rubber buffer right there, and the thing just pulls up since I just took those two bolts out. So while I'm doing this, I am using a Craftsman set. I love Craftsman. I figured I'm a tool guy, I can tell you what kind of tools I'm using. Snap-on's good too, I just prefer Craftsman. As you can obviously tell, I'm trying to do this in the heat of the moment. It is raining. So those are just the 4 bolts to get that off, and then you just kind of gotta shimmy it out of here. And this is your whole wiper system right here. Okay? So if you look right down in here, you'll see that you have 3 bolts here, and then you got to take this nut off, and the whole motor will come out. Now, what I did wrong, and I think I see what my issue is already, is I put this whole thing back together and didn't pay attention to how this is set up. This whole rocker system works similar to that, and for whatever reason right now my wipers are running backwards. So put it back together exactly as you saw it. I obviously messed that one up, but so I'm just going to pull these apart just to show you how to pull it apart. And then getting it back together, everything is the exact opposite, so I'm not going to go through how to put it back together, because obviously if you can do this much, it's easier to get it back together. So you just pull these 3 little bolts out. These are also 10 millimeter or number 3 Phillips drive, which a socket's better than a Phillips driver anyway, so just use the 10 millimeter. You already got it out for the other stuff. This is easier. I'm actually just going to leave that one in there. It's a little bit easier to do this next part if you just leave one in. This part right here, I just have a crescent wrench. Not Craftsman, my bad. Just get it to a point where you can hold this down like that. What's the width on this? This is open all the way, and I think that's about 1.25 inches or so. Then you're going to need either a 14 millimeter 9/16. Same thing, I'm using a 9/16. This is a gear wrench, so it's got a ratchet on the box end, and you just hold both pieces. Can you get that in there? You just do one of these dealios to get it off. Now that pulls off nice and easy. You do have a lock washer, so hold both of those. Get the 10 millimeter back up here. Slide that back that way. Now when you go to get the motor out, this part can be kind of a pain in the butt, but the best way that I found is if you can see right here, see how there's that little square piece? If you leave it in there and take a flathead screwdriver, which I don't have, see if I can get this thing in there, and just pry it up. I promise it works. There we go. And then it just comes right out. You disconnect it and you're done. And then you do everything else backwards to get it back into place. I don't have that much time, and there's running out of time on the video, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put this up because I never found a video on YouTube of how to do this, so now everybody else knows how. Thanks, bye.